this is the top 13 best of Treehouse of Horror.
Are you ready for tales that will shatter your spine and boil your blood?
Well, duh.
Number 13. I've Grown a Costume on Your Face. A real witch gets snubbed at Springfield's Halloween contest and casts a spell that turns everyone into their costumes, resulting in a ton of carnage and humorous shenanigans as everyone in town deals with their new abilities and personas. We've seen this concept played out a few times before, but surprisingly it's one of the rare segments that actually takes place on Halloween. So to see everyone actually enjoying the holiday again, like the first couple of specials, is refreshing to me.
My spine is not a scratching post.
Number 12. The Fright to Keep and Scare Harms. Well, first of all, the title alone is just awesome. But this segment also illustrates how the show has started painting these stories with a broader brush, so to speak. The basic plot is Lisa is moved by an anti-gun quote she sees on a tombstone and convinces the town to get rid of all their guns.
It's always made me feel like a man, you know? Now all I got is my enormous genitals.
But then it turns out that the grave belongs to Zombie Billy the Kid and his ghoulish gang of gunslingers.
And the most evil German of all time, Kaiser Wilhelm.
He ain't no cowboy. Sure I am. Yippee whippy whippy. Okay, he's in.
And since they have the last guns in town, they literally call the shots. Now there are just so many implausible things about this that just make me laugh. Like how all these historic gunslingers, and one stray German, all seem to be buried near Springfield. And how their century-old firearms are not only in perfect working condition, but seem to be on par with today's guns. And the fact that Lisa, the biggest bookworm ever, didn't know Billy the Kid's real name.
Lisa has a dead boyfriend. He's not my dead boyfriend. He is a dead boy who happens to be my friend.
Number 11. Starship Pooper. Spoiler alert, Maggie's dad is really Kang, from when Marge was abducted and impregnated as part of some sort of intergalactic experiment.
Look behind you! Insemination complete.
Really? That seemed awfully quick.
What are you implying?
Nothing.
It's always good to have Kang and Kodos, and most people remember this episode for the Jerry Springer finale. But to be honest, it makes the list because I actually found Maggie's alien transformation genuinely creepy.
Ah!
Is there anything you can prescribe, Doctor?
Fire! And lots of it.
Number 10. Easy Bake Coven. There's a witch trial in the Pilgrim Village of Springfield, and they've just found out that good wife Marge is a witch. After she takes her revenge on the town, she flees to see Patty and Selma, who are, now hold yourself down for this one, also witches.
What a day! They found out I was a witch, so I had to leave my family.
Every time I see that part, there's this unexpected tug on my heartstrings. All she wanted to do was live her life. And for a second, I think this segment is going to be about Marge missing her family. But then they go straight to the child abductions.
Who is it?
Witches.
What do you want?
We're here to eat your kids.
This episode is one of my favorites visually, and ever since, the witch has become the most popular Halloween incarnation for Marge.
Bye, witches. Thanks for not eating me.
Yeah, you hags are alright.
Number 9. The Devil and Homer Simpson. Homer sells his soul to the devil for a donut, and the devil turns out to be Ned Flanders.
It's always the one you least suspect.
Which really shows the full beauty of how surreal these Halloween specials can get. What's so great about it is how unexpectedly well the idea works out. Even though he's doing horrible things, Flanders never seems to truly lose his cheery personality. On the other hand, there is something entertaining and creepy in seeing him flip his switch and going demonic on people. And aside from that, the episode features great visuals, excellent jokes, and one of the most touching and humorous twists ever.
Homer, stop picking at it.
Oh, but I'm so sweet and tasty.
Number 8. Desperately Seeking Xena. This one kind of bugs me because it's one of those episodes that has no real element of horror or the macabre. But at least it starts on Halloween, unlike some of the more recent years. But the jokes in this one make me overlook it. Anyway, Lisa and Bart get superpowers when exposed to a blast of X-rays, and they have to save Xena's Lucy Lawless from the Collector.
Must remove
My breastplate!
As the name implies, the stars of the segment are really comic book guy and Xena, and this episode is filled with tons of nerdy jokes and surprisingly good fight scenes. Lawless herself is also very funny, delivering one of the world's best and most used lines about continuity in popular culture.
Yeah. Well, whenever you notice something like that, a wizard did it.
I see, all right, yes. But in episode AG4...
Wizard.
Number 7. Clown Without Pity. Homer forgets Bart's birthday, runs into a store of mystical items, and buys a killer Krusty doll that ends up trying to dispatch Homer in many humorous ways. By now, most of you know the true nature of the doll, but what I always thought was funny was it implied that the Krusty doll was now living with Lisa's Malibu Stacy. So, Lisa doesn't mind the supernatural doll sleeping in her room, occasionally humping her favorite childhood doll. This episode features some of the best facial expressions and physical comedy of any of the segments, and the exchange between Homer and the shopkeeper is just classic.
Take this object, but beware, it carries a terrible curse.
Ooh, that's bad.
But it comes with a free Frogut.
That's good.
The Frogut is also cursed.
That's bad.
But you get your choice of topping.
That's good.
The toppings contain potassium benzoate. That's bad.
Can I go now?
Number 6. Frankenstein. Professor Frink resurrects his estranged and long-dead father, who becomes a ghoul, harvesting organs from the denizens of Springfield in order to become whole again. And in a surreal twist, the father is played by Jerry Lewis, whose Nutty Professor would spawn the character of Professor Frink. So in a way, you can say that he really is Frank's dad. Aside from the great premise and the jokes, this episode really showcases what a great performer Jerry Lewis still is. His timings and inflection are perfect for each joke.
I'm alive with the breathing and the tingling and the what's this radiator where my puppet should be.
Also, I like to think this is what all the people in the Nutty Professor were staring at, if it turned out to be an actual monster story.
And now it's time for me to go to hell.
Ow, ooh, ow, oi, ooh, ow, dead.
Number 5. The Raven. Gotta include this one from the original Treehouse of Horror, because every English teacher I knew had this segment on video, so I must have seen it at least once every Halloween. But like the poem, it luckily seems to stand the test of time. It's an absolutely beautiful rendition of Edgar Allan's work, and it captures the spirit of the work without parodying it too much. No, the humor of this segment actually comes from Homer, the biggest clod ever, actually reciting the poem beautifully.
Don't I crispy, shorn, and shaven, thou?
I said,
But sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore.
quoth the Raven.
Eat my shorts.
And where the original poem slowly builds up a sense of dread in both the narrator and audience, this gets funnier and funnier as we see Homer losing more of his patience and tact with each line.
Take thy beak from off my heart, and take thy farm from off my door.
Quoth the Raven.
Nevermore.
Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy farm from off my door.
Quoth the Raven.
Nevermore.
Why, you little...
And I do like the irony in Lisa's comments in the wraparound segments. How the poem isn't too scary in modern context. Yeah, it used to be scary once, but now we stick it in cartoons. Loser. Number 4. Time and Punishment. Apparently Homer is an idiot savant in the field of quantum mechanics and rebuilds a toaster into a time machine. Now he's traveling back and forth between now and the past, trying to set things right. What's great about this episode is just how creative all the ways Homer screws up the timeline, and just how taxing it becomes on his sanity.
Don't touch anything! I'll touch whatever I feel like!
And the part where Homer returns to the perfect world always makes me die a little inside. If he had only just stayed a few seconds longer.
It's raining again.
Number 3. Homer Cubed, or Homer 3, or Homer 3D, or whatever, it's just awesome. It's one of the most iconic episodes in the series that absolutely blew everyone's mind when they first saw it.
Oh, glory of glories. Oh, heavenly testament to the eternal majesty of God's creation. Holy macaroni!
And yeah, at the time it was just an excuse to show off the capabilities of computer-generated animation, but they hit it well in a really great parody of The Twilight Zone.
Huh? That's weird. It's like something out of that Twilighty show about that zone.
And used the gimmick to lead into more jokes.
Man, this place looks expensive. I feel like I'm wasting a fortune just standing here. Better make the most of it.
Number 2. Dial Z for Zombie. The Simpsons versus the Army of the Undead. And all because Bart didn't want to do his book report. So of course the only book that interests him is the Necronomicon. I'll admit, this one actually scared me as a kid because of the legitimately creepy parts, like the dead rising and being cornered in a library. But it's always great to see Homer kick some zombie ass.
Hey, Simpson, I'm feeling a mite peckish. Mind if I chew your ear?
Dad, you killed the zombie Flanders.
You was a zombie?
Number 1. The Shinnin. This has got it all. Laughs, chills, a perfect parody that lampoons, but still somehow captures the spirit and atmosphere of the source material. I don't think there's a Simpsons fan alive that hasn't quoted this iconic scene.
What do you think, Marge? All I need is a title. I was thinking along the lines of no TV and no beer make Homer something something.
Go crazy?
Don't mind if I do!
But my favorite bits are just how nonchalant Marge is about what's going on. My favorite quote will always be,
Mom, is Dad gonna kill us? We're just gonna have to wait and see.
"We'll just have to wait and see." That line should be in every horror movie ever made, because that seems to be the working logic in all of them. Hey, is this house haunted?
We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Hey, is there a killer hiding in the woods?
We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Is he really going to in the and then
We're just gonna have to wait and see.
It's creepy, it's kooky, it's also perfect for the number 1 spot.
Tell you what, we come back and everyone's slaughtered, I owe you a Coke.
Well, since Halloween season will be unofficially over this Sunday, better start getting ready for Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone.
It's the holiday clusterfuck. Citizens gather together to run amok. Bucks flying everywhere, folks pulling out their hair. People are waving while paying with great despair.